What a day. So after having an amazing day of taking care of plants and my tower and just really disconnecting from work yesterday, I didn't get everything on my life list that I wanted to get done. So I did some of that today. And while I was doing some of that, which was part of that was juicing, I was watching because it was on. My mom was watching it. Hey, Mandy, awesome to see you. I was watching the proceedings on the hearing for the potential Supreme Court justice and the woman that has come forward about sexual assault when they were teenagers. And it brought up something that I'd forgotten that was an assault. And it was an assault because there were drugs involved. When I was younger, I did a lot of drugs. I don't talk about that very often. I was a functional marijuana addict until the year 2000. I worked in radio for 9 years, and I had a system. I knew when I had to stop smoking in order to be functional when I opened up the mic. And it was such a craving that the minute I was off work and I'm driving home, I'm checking, make sure there's no cops around, and I'm taking a hit. This is way before anything was legal, and now it's legal here, and I have no desire whatsoever to get back on that particular train. None. So I didn't know I was going to talk about that. I guess it's because drugs were involved in one of my assaults. And there were a number of them. And women do remember. I remember my first time of having intercourse, and it was a rape where I was literally drug across a wooden floor into a bedroom. And I remember the taste of his blood from his shoulder in my mouth when I bit him, when he entered me. And he asked me, "What? What's going on?" Totally oblivious, as I've been saying no, no, no for, I don't know, an hour. That piece I don't remember, but I know that I said no repeatedly, and he literally had to drag me into the bedroom. And my response was, I don't know, a virgin. And his response was, well, if I would have known that, I would have done this differently. Not, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have touched you in the first place, but I'm still going to rape you. It just would have gone differently had I known you were a virgin. Yeah. Some other people around me watching this are like, women remember, and someone that I had no idea that she had been assaulted. I was talking about how that assault is now, that it's good, that it's, just being pushed into a room and being held down, and whether there's any penetration or at all or not, you can still be sexually violated, sexually assaulted. And the person that I was sharing that with got really enraged because these proceedings are reminding her of something that happened a long, long time ago that she never wanted to think about. And it was startling that, and overall, I think it's a good thing, though, that this is coming out and that women are remembering. Change definitely happens within. Hey, Sylvie. Yeah, we do remember, Mandy. Yeah, thank you for the hugs. Things are shifting in the power dynamics. We're coming to a place of more balance between the feminine and the masculine. And that change and that shift is not without pain and not without disruption. And I don't know whether the judge will be admitted, and God, I hope not. I'm praying not. Watching him evade every single question since they've started the proceedings and never giving a straight answer to any question is just This is not a judge. This is a politician who is going for a lifetime job as a judge. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me. And I know that I'm not the only one. Hey, Tina. Yeah. We all have lives. We all have pasts. We all have things that we've done that maybe we're not proud of, things that were done in, under the influence of some drug or somebody's influence. And yet, I get forgiveness. I'm actually pretty good at it. Not so much with myself, but with others, absolutely. And I rarely, almost never talk about politics because it's not my thing. And it's a win-lose proposition, which to me is a lose-lose. I seek in my life to find win-win situations. And what I'm seeing right now is it's just everyone's losing. And it's really sad. And like I said, typically I don't watch, though I'm seeking to start getting media for the work that I'm doing and releasing relationships. There could be a lot of that happening in what I saw today. A lot of people releasing things that had happened to them and moving forward. And therefore, I'm paying more attention to what's going on in the media. Were my choice, I would just like turn off the news. And usually I don't know what's going on. I wait for my mom to tell me, but I've been spending more time with her, and that means the TV's on. And it's worth being able to spend the time with her. And I just want to say I'm really pissed off that the women don't feel like they can come forward, and that rape victims and victims of sexual assault internalize, and we must have done something to deserve it. And that the woman's the last one believed. And I know that that's starting to change. I mean, obviously they're listening to this woman. I'd rather not name names just because of the nature of it. I mean, it's all in the media. You can go watch it if you want. Anyway, the reason for these Facebook Lives is to ask, how do I love myself today? So I finished some of the things that were on my list from yesterday, the personal things. Yeah, we never deserve it. You're right, Mandy, and we are being heard. You're absolutely right. Things are changing, and it's a really good thing that things are changing. And I think that this is a big part of it, though it's really uncomfortable for a lot of people, the remembering things that you didn't want to remember, because this woman came forward and said, 36 years ago, this happened to me, and my life has never been the same. I mean, she sounds like a 14-year-old, a little girl. She never matured past that point. And that's unconscionable. I know I was stuck at 14 for a long time. That's how old I was when I lost my virginity to a rapist, to someone who would not listen to no, who thought I was being coy. Yeah. What did you think all the no's were for? Oh, I thought you were being coy. No. No means no. No means no. So how I loved myself today was got some things off of my personal to-do list, got things done on my business, took care of some great clients, did one of my Get It Done labs, and had some amazing support from Leanne Jenkins. Greatly appreciate your support. And then I started working on a piece that I need for my business and for my personal growth. It's kind of intertwined because that's part of what business and as being an entrepreneur is. And I found myself just overwhelmed. And even though I went through some techniques that helped that overwhelm, I found myself going outside as the light was fading to finish another thing that was on my list, which was actually planting things. And I did a bunch of cleaning and moving around of some plants and pruning and taking something that had been hidden underneath the dirt, a bunch of rocks, beautiful rocks that would have been hidden under dirt and lots of leaves. And I pulled them all out of the ground and used them around the succulent plants that I had planted. I've been developing a small succulent plant garden, and I had a new plant to put in there that had been rooted. And I was creating digging out things that had been covered and that were dirty and that weren't working, that had just been placed haphazardly, and did it with more thought and removing some things that weren't working anymore and making something that in the morning light, when I get to look at it, it's going to be beautiful, because I didn't finish until after dark and I cleaned up what I could. And that was my way of dealing with today and all the things that were revealed that came out of the dirt and being covered for a long time, and made something beautiful out of it. So that's how I love myself today. Was I got my hands in the dirt. I planted things. I moved things. I transplanted something that was actually where it was creating problems for it and the design that I wanted to create with the little garden that I'm making. And now I'm ready to drop back in. It shouldn't. You're right, Maddie. It shouldn't have gotten to saying no. They should have. I shouldn't have even had the thought. Yeah, they flipped a coin over me too, by the way. There's only one girl left in there, and she's not passed out drunk, puking drunk, hooked up with somebody else, or gone home. No, I called my dad. Yeah, I'm safe. No, they flipped a coin over me. The brother of the girl I came with and this other guy. Yeah, not a good thing. I took responsibility for it. I lied to my dad. I told him I was safe. I told him I was at her parents' home, that we were safe. Their parents were home. I lied. Still shouldn't have happened. But yeah, I took responsibility. Wrong place, wrong time. I lied to my dad. He was ready to come and get me. Sorry, Dad. Miss you. Miss you a lot. Okay. It's day 270 of 365 days, asking the question, how do I love myself today? Today, I love myself by acknowledging that I've lived a really full life and I have a lot to bring and a lot to share. And I'll do it real and raw and flighty and happy and silly. I'm going to be myself wherever I'm at, whatever I'm dealing with. And you can count on that. I love you. Thanks, Mandy. Really appreciate you. Now, you go love yourself. Thank you. Thanks so much, Mandy. Take care.